The morning began with a quiet transformation, one of those subtle changes that somehow shift the entire mood of a space. The front fence, which had long divided the entryway, was finally gone. The moment the last section came out, the whole scene seemed to breathe more freely. The view opened up, and suddenly, the possibilities for planting felt limitless. Without that barrier, the design could stretch wider, the beds could flow more naturally, and the space felt as though it had been waiting for this moment. For a long time, that fence had dictated the rhythm of our planting decisions, forcing everything into narrow strips, creating awkward symmetry that never quite worked. But with it gone, we can now embrace a bolder scale. The spring grove arborvitaes already standing tall will one day spread their branches to 20 feet, providing both privacy and grandeur. The lilac on the side will fill out beautifully, and the whole area will feel balanced and welcoming. Standing there, looking at the freshly opened entryway, I couldn't help but feel a rush of excitement. It's a rare joy in gardening to be surprised by just how much better something looks than you imagined. Removing the fence didn't just change the view, it redefined what the space could become. The lilac will stay for now, its future size promising a gentle green screen, and with a few glimpses left intentionally open, the approach feels inviting without being overly exposed. From the moment I sketched out my vision on paper, I knew the scale needed to feel generous, welcoming visitors with wide entryway beds lined with plants that draw you in. The hydrangeas, currently sheltered from the wind in the high tunnel, will soon join the boxwoods already in place. Timing matters, there's a heat wave coming, and I want these plants to have the best start possible. By waiting, they'll settle in without stress, ensuring strong growth through the seasons ahead. Taking down the fence wasn't without its challenges. The posts were stubborn, refusing to budge even with the tractor. In the end, they had to be cut off, the concrete bases left in place for now, a reminder of the old structure, quietly buried beneath the soil. But the effort was worth it. Without that visual barrier, even the roses and the weeping Alaskan cedar seem more harmonious. Nearby, the big faux rock hides electrical wiring and conduit that run toward the gate and camera system. With 6 or 7 cameras in the area, security is well covered, but this project is about more than functionality, it's about creating beauty that frames the everyday. Anchor pieces like boxwoods give structure, while seasonal plantings bring color and life. Back in the high tunnel, the plants waiting for their moment are thriving. The azure rush geraniums, with their long blooming season and graceful habit, promise splashes of color from summer through fall. Their soft mounds will be complemented by the desert plains pennisetum, grasses that sway in the breeze and later explode into thick, showy plumes. Alongside them, Kodiak red direvilla adds deep foliage tones and a burst of yellow blooms loved by pollinators. But the star of today's load might just be the easy as pie bush cherries. Compact and manageable, they'll produce tart cherries perfect for baking, especially meaningful since cherry pie is my dad's favorite dessert. Their size makes them easy to protect from birds, and in spring, they'll offer a burst of blooms in the dirt lands, where they can grow freely without disturbing the more formal areas near the house. This summer has been unusually kind, a gift compared to last year's relentless heat. With mild temperatures, both plants and gardeners can thrive without exhaustion. The lawns seeded earlier are greening nicely, despite the expected weeds that come with new growth. These, too, will fade with time and care. Planting begins in a tucked-away corner where 2 grasses are placed at varying heights, framing a post with soft foliage while leaving enough access for the occasional need to reach electrical outlets. Around them, a drift of geraniums softens the space, weaving between stones and driftwood. From one angle, the grasses shine like golden beacons, from another, they blend into a walkway that will one day lead to a patio. Out on the north berm, the second pair of grasses is given room to sway. Here, there are no underground surprises, just open soil ready for planting. They join a trio alongside very awesome hibiscus and quickfire fab hydrangeas, the textures and colors promising a low maintenance yet high impact display. Then it's time to head to the dirt lands, where a touch of red foliage from the Dyrevilla adds depth near a recovering Norway spruce. This is the place for the cherries, grouped where they can be easily reached for harvest. In spring, the mix of soft cherry blossoms and vivid crab apple blooms will create a scene worth pausing for. Back at the front, the last task is to set the boxwoods into position. Their curve, or swoop, needs to be perfect, balanced from all angles, flowing naturally with the other plantings. Measuring and adjusting, I picture the finished design, a stately row of evergreens backed by hydrangeas, anchored by ornamental grasses. In winter, the addition of wreaths, either on the gates or beneath the lights, will keep the entryway festive. By the time the day winds down, the progress is undeniable. The fence is gone, the plants are in, and the vision is taking shape. The space feels more open, more intentional, and ready to shine in every season. Each choice, from the placement of a single grass to the decision to wait out a heat wave before planting hydrangeas, builds toward a landscape that's both beautiful and practical. There's a deep satisfaction in seeing it all come together. The boxwoods, the cherries, the grasses, they're not just plants, but pieces of a story unfolding in the garden. And with every step forward, that story becomes richer, promising even more beauty in the months and years ahead.